Hey, what's up, guys? It's me, Peter Hartzell, Treehouse Media, with you tonight, and I am flying solo. Chauncey had an awesome opportunity tonight, and so we decided just to keep it rolling. We want these Tuesday night calls, these 15-minute power ups, to really energize you and get you excited and get you motivated. And yeah, earlier today, Chauncey and I had a call, and he was telling me about this conversation that he had with a mentor, business mentor. And this mentor basically said, when you kind of hit your 50s, that's really when a lot of your influence starts to mature and you start to kind of really enjoy the fruits of your labor. And, you put in a lot of time, you put in all the work when you're younger, building ideas and dreams and just trying to feel things out and see what lane fits where your passion is. And that struggle or that challenge of marrying what you're passionate about with leaving a legacy, making an impact, finding something you can really invest your life into, where there's some long-term meaning. There's some longevity and some, you feel like you did something that was worth something. And generally it takes a long time to build that. It takes a lot of years and heartache and what some would call failures, what others would call successes, and lessons learned that really help to round out your experience. And so tonight, I just wanted to encourage you, if you have been in this position where maybe you've been working for yourself for a little while, or maybe you've been, an employee working for somebody else, trying to get some dream off the ground, but just never really quite feeling like you had the time. I just wanted to kind of give you that little nudge or that encouragement that if you're in your 20s, there's no better time. If you're in your 30s or even if you're in your 40s, there's really no better time than right now to really put some action behind that dream that you've got and that thing that you really have always kind of desired to put your time and energy into. I don't think there's any inspiring movie out there that doesn't start off with some guy that had some crazy idea, some crazy dream, and everybody else was telling them that they were crazy. And then at the end, they accomplished their dream. But you know what? The reason they did was because they showed up every single day. They got out of bed. They did the things that they knew they needed to do to get. Every day was just one step closer to achieving that dream and that goal. And it doesn't happen if you're passive. It doesn't happen if you just kind of wake up in the morning and go to work and feel like, man, I really wish I was doing something else, or, I love my job, but I know I could be doing so much more with my time and my talent, and, or maybe you hate your job, or maybe you do have your own company and you really don't like what you're doing. I know that when I first started out working for myself, there were some things that I was kind of getting into that I really didn't enjoy, but I kind of felt like I had to. If I want to build my company, I've got to kind of, do some of these boring projects or work on some of these things that I'm really not all that passionate about. But a lot of that stuff those were building blocks. Those were the things that kind of produced some grit, the things sometimes that you just kind of have to dig in your heels and work through. And I know for my folks, it was college. They would say there's some value in just finishing something, even if you don't really believe that maybe the major, the focus of study that you're in is maybe not your passion. There is something value about just finishing that thing. Now, if you could finish that thing and it's something you're actually passionate about, that's even better, because those two things go really nicely together. And you may find out, hey, all this time and energy I spent investing in this dream today, I'm not as passionate about as I was when I started off. And you get to start asking some questions like, why am I feeling unmotivated? Is there something else that I feel like I would rather be doing? And I will also say from a lot of experience that sometimes it's easy to get caught into this cycle of dissatisfaction and always looking for the next best idea, rather than just really giving yourself and dedicating yourself to something consistent, something you can show up every day, give your time to. And so I'm not giving you an excuse or an out to just kind of fly from one thing to another, but there is probably something too. If you're feeling like, you know what, there's just something that's just not quite right, and I need to figure out what that is. Uh, Man, this network, being a part of this network, I hope you found, for those of you that have been members for any length of time, that there's some value in the networking and the membership, the camaraderie that can happen, the collaboration that can happen in your Slack groups and in your interpersonal communications, prospecting, working with, sharing what you do with other bridge builder members, and getting engaged. Man, I think there's a lot of opportunity here. And so tonight, this Tuesday call, I'm going to make this a quicker one, but we're really just here to encourage you and to give you the tools and the opportunities that you need to thrive. And, being a part of this network, and really, when you're feeling frustrated, reaching out to somebody in the network, reach out to me or Chauncey or, any of the other people, any of your mentor partners, anybody in the network that you can say, hey, I'm really struggling with this. Let's find a solution. Let's find a solution to that and help you kind of get over that hurdle. And I'll leave you with kind of one final encouragement. I have found personally many times in my life that when I felt the most frustrated, the most discouraged, that when I let off the gas in that moment, that it always would kind of tend to just disintegrate into nothing. And all that time and energy that I had built to that moment was kind of not a waste, but it just didn't come to fruition the way it could have. The times in my life where I've really dug in my heels and doubled down, given it a little extra go, that's always the time that things just sort of started to work. It was like a lubrication for those gears. You need to kind of, sometimes those gears get stuck and you need to get some WD-40 in there and get those gears moving. And once you get that momentum, it's so much easier to keep building momentum. When you don't have momentum or you're going backwards, that's when you're in trouble. And again, that's what the network is here to kind of help cushion that and give you some support, so that if you do feel like you're rolling backwards, or you do feel like you're not going anywhere, you do feel like you're stuck, that you got friends, people that can help you grow. So we're here for you. We are bridge builders. We're building bridges and changing lives. We'll catch you on the next Tuesday Power Up. Have a good one, guys.